Hey guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video is going to feature my discount beauty finds all the way from hair down to makeup. I'm actually, as you can tell, finishing up my hair right now. I'm using some of my favorite discount products. The Garnier Fructis style. This is the anti-humidity hairspray. As you can tell, my hair is in its natural state. I allowed it to air dry out of the shower. I conditioned it with my Pantene Curl Perfecting Frizz Calming Complex. 24 hours. I do not shampoo my hair every day when I'm wearing it in its natural state. Usually I'll moisten it, put some of the Pantene conditioner on it, allow my curls to spring back, rinse it out, and I'll go into using a handful of my Shea Butter Leave-In Conditioning Repair Cream. I'll use a little bit of that, and then a handful of the Garnier Fructis style curl constructing mousse. I'll use a palmful of that and allow it to air dry. Yeah, after it starts to air dry and starts to get a little crunchy, I will use like my hair dryer. I don't have a diffuser, but I just really allow it to really get most of the moisture out of the root. And I just kind of go in and start spiraling it up to just kind of shape it. And you guys know, you watch my videos often, I don't really wear my natural hair out because I am in the process of growing it out. But I figured this would be a nice additive to a discount beauty find. So, this is my intro. It's a little bit different. My hair probably will change shapes as the day goes by. And I know my true natural girls will probably send me suggestions on products that I can actually use. Trust me, I have tried everything. These products work for me, but definitely send your comments, thoughts, and ideas. So now on to the makeup. I am definitely wanting to try some of the LA Colors foundations. I actually found these in my dollar store. They were $1. So let's just give it a try on camera, shall we? Excuse the noise in the background, ladies. I do have my daughter. She's cooking. And we're definitely going to allow her to do that. Now, I can already tell right now, I'm having to pump for days. Can you see this? I mean, come on, really, people. I just really want, is there a way for me to diffuse this? Is the pump broke? Look, I'm pumping. It's not. Okay, let's just take this loose. I mean, really, what do you expect from a dollar product? But, yeah. And look, it just broke. Moving on, I'm actually going to grab some of this the same way I would any of my other product. I'm going to apply it on the back of my hand, and I think for the sake of, I'm going to use my foundation brush and just blend this in. Okay. The coverage is very, very similar to the True Match. I'm actually going to use my Real Techniques brush and just go back into the little container and apply this in a more defined space for my under eye concealer and allow that to build and bond. Usually when I'm using a more inexpensive product found in a drugstore or something, the products are notorious for not drying as fast as a high-end product, so definitely keep that in mind. There are some off-brand setting sprays. e.l.f. makes a pretty decent one, and so if that's something you are interested in, you should be able to find that in like your Target store and places that sell e.l.f. cosmetics. Alright, so I'm just going to let that kind of dry some, and I'm going to move on and create my brows. Those of you that followed me know that I love the Jordana brand. This brand can be found in your Walgreens store. I want to say CVS pharmacies are a really big chain store that you can find these products in, and I'm sure you can actually find those online. So I'm using the shade Medium. This is the Eyebrow pencil. These pencils are only $1.99, I believe. Just freehand my brows. Next, to go a little bit further with my brows, I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyebrow kit. It does come with this little snazzy brush, and let's just say let's use it. All I'm doing is filling in the gap a little bit further. As you can see, the combination of the Jordana eyebrow pencil and the e.l.f. eyebrow kit, I can actually create a pretty intense brow. Very natural, which works very well for this type of look. Now let's fill this foundation. It seems like it's actually fairly dry, and I think now I'm going to use the concealers by LA Cosmetics. This shade is Nude. Usually concealers have a little bit more brightening effect. Foundation is actually going to be more true. And again, this shade is Nude, so I'm going to actually create a little bit of a highlight effect underneath my brows here. And you can see right now that concealer is not as it's not as thick as some concealers, but it was $1. Now I'm going to actually go in and see if I can create a brightening effect around the eye area. So I'm just going to kind of pat this here. I think with using drugstore products, you still rely on your same technique. So I'm going to apply this in the same type of technique as I would if I was using a high-end product. Somewhat brighter. As you can see, that is actually the maximum amount of coverage I can actually get from the LA Girls concealer. It seems like it's a lot more water-based. It's not going to give me the consistency and the intensity of brightness as my MAC Pro Longwear concealer. However, with some of my girls that are not really concerned with the brightness around the eye, this actually might be a fairly inexpensive way to conceal around the eye area. Now, to create the all necessary contouring process, I'm going to use my True Match Healthy Luminous Makeup. The shade is, it just has Cool on here, Soft Sable C6. This is the product, and the shade is about 2 shades darker. You can see I got a very nice pump. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush and create a very natural highlight. Contour. Create a very natural contour. You're going for a more natural contour, using similar products in different intensities gives you a more natural effect. The textures are very similar. They're still foundations, but I can still use color to create this contour. I'm going to give all this time to dry, and I was thinking I haven't really created a smoky eye in quite a while, so you guys are in for a treat. I'm going to grab my Jordana Black Easy Liner Retractable Pencil for Eyes, and I'm going to create a smoky eye. Start to create the inner waterline. And I'm not priming the eyelid at all just yet. I want this pencil to bleed. Right now, all I'm doing is creating the shape I want of the smoky eye. And these Jordana pencils really allow me the chance to create They're really, really soft kohl pencils. I like them because they're retractable. I'm not hunting for a pencil sharpener. I could technically stop here, but I am going to move in with my Fergie. This is the Desert Festival. It's one of the older Fergie units. Grab this darker shade here and intensify the exterior. Intensify the exterior, and you notice I'm just patting this shade on to minimize fallout. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm actually going to concentrate right here on the inner, because I've already created the shape that I want. By applying powder on the outer perimeter of a smoky eye, it stops the bleeding. If you notice, I pat the color on and then blend. If you go directly into blending, not knowing exactly how much product you have on that brush, you're going to create fallout. You see any fallout? No. Pack, then blend. Move in with this darker shade here and start to create a little bit of a halo effect around it. Continue to build with the orange shade and blend. Can use that same shade and go just underneath. Remove any harsh lines. Now to take the smoky eye one step further, I want to use my Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Studio. This is called Tenacious Teal. It's one of the newer shades in the line, or at least newer shades to me. And I'm actually going to grab my middle finger and just swab it around, get a good enough product, and I'm just going to apply the color right on the ball of the eye. Just kind of settle that in. We're going to do exactly the same thing, just underneath. Just to create a little bit of interest. Notice I'm focusing the color on the center of the eye. It allows the eye to appear bigger, which is very important when you're creating a smoky eye. You don't want to create the appearance of a smaller eye. Concentrate the most color around the eye itself. Continue to work the shade down. Taper it on the edges and create almost a half moon effect. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to use my Jordana Fabu liner in black. Notice I'm applying this liquid liner, not necessarily in the waterline, but just as tightly to the waterline as possible. And it really, really accents the eye and keeps the eye from appearing closed. Now, my foundation should be dry. The extra amount of concealer should be dry. I'm actually going to go in with my Black Radiance Pressed Powder. The shade is Chocolate, and I'm just going to enhance my contour. Every place that you apply the deeper amount of foundation to create your contour, that's where you want to apply this powder. It acts as a blush and a further contour. Very, very earthy. I love it. Now, what I want to do is not minimize all the work I've done. I want to make the bridge of my nose protrude just to create the highlight effect. I am going to use my Fit Concealer. This shade is Sand Sable, and I'm just going to put a few dots here. Now, this is probably the lightest of the highlighting. I'm actually going to bring it up on my forehead and here on the above of my chin, because I want this highlight to be illuminating. You see that? How my chin is starting to protrude in the middle of the forehead. And I'm just going to go back in and settle it. Tap over it with my foundation brush to make sure there are no lines of demarcation. Let's add a little color to the lips. I'm using my Baby Berry Jordana Easy Liner for lips. The color is easy enough. I can technically stop here, but to get a little bit more longevity, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Just Peachy lipstick. This is one of my favorite colors in the Wet n Wild line. And just apply a little bit of a gloss. This is my color Ambition. Just to keep my lips from being too dry. Now, for those of you concerned with, am I going to set this? Absolutely, I am. I'm going to grab my Iman Sand Light Medium Luxury Powder. Just going to kind of whisk this along and set all the work I've done. And now to polish the look off, I'm actually going to make my mascara my very last step. I'm using my Voluminous False Fiber Lashes in black lacquer. The shade is obviously black. One of my favorite drugstore finds. You can stop here. You don't necessarily have to apply false lashes, but I think I will. I actually found these in my local Walmart store. There were a set of 8. I want to say I got these for about $5. And for a look as earthy as this, I think I'm actually just going to apply these little babies here. I'm going to grab my Duo glue. Bend your lashes to your lashes. And there you have it, my beauty on a dime or discount beauty finds. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to follow me at love_Kiani on Instagram. You'll see where I'm wearing all these amazing looks. Leave your likes, dislikes, any other requests that you would like to see. We'll be sure to get that out to you when time permits. Now it's time for my very quick close-up. Until next time.